In this video, we are going to detail through why the price of XRP is going to skyrocket. Now, this starts from the different central banks, the adoption, all of that directly from their reports, annual reports, going through all of that and clear crystal evidence from what happened in the past, what's happening right now, and how things are evolving. Everything is going to be here. And this one is also going to give you the clear perspective of you holding XRP for this long is worth it. And every second you wait is going to be priced in with the value. Why is that? We are going to break through all of this in this video, starting from Payments Canada website, then moving through Saudi, Qatar, Russia. We are going to stretch it through. There is a lot happening right now with Ripple and on-demand liquidity. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10%. Before we jump into the fundamentals, we'll just take a glance at the technical side of this. Okay, we broke higher, we hit the resistance, we are coming back down. It seems like we are respecting this trend line, which is a short-term trend line, and most likely we are going to bounce. So if we are able to bounce and break through this range, now that's bullish going up to this range. Now, at this time, when you get all this news narrative in the market, it should be bullish. Why shouldn't it be bullish, right? The way you see how things evolving, this is like a recent tweet from the Digital Pound Foundation. Interoperability for their payment system future. And what are they really talking about here? And who is talking here? That's really important. Now, let's try and break this down one by one from the start. Here, this tweet actually highlights you talk about Bank of London talking about clearing 2.0, and it actually comes like the global networks such as Ripple and XRP. So they are looking at a possible option. Great. Then this particular article, which is like September 2022, talk about World Central Bank Digital Currency. Now, these are private articles, right? Now, jumping on to the fundamental part. This is Payments Canada. Now, we do have a lot of articles which actually gives us clear idea of what's happening, but I would actually like to first go through these key data. Fine. This is Payments Canada, and as you go through, they're talking about rebound and grow. What? Payment methods, right? The trends, how things are evolving. Now, this is a long document. If you want to take your time through that, you can do that. I'll try to put all of these links in the description below. But before that, we can look at what's happening. Here, they talk about the G20 and their interest in cross-border payments. And they also give you ideas like, okay, public-private partnership is going to be the key to solve this issue. And they also kind of give you an example, like in recent years, Wise, PayPal, and others are trying to address this issue. But what's happening? As the space is digitalizing at an accelerating rate, they see institutions like Ripple coming into the play. So, as it's written, in 2022, Cbdc, one of the largest providers of cross-border payments in Canada, announced they would partner with Ripple and leverage Ripple's blockchain-based solution for cross-border payments. And they continue with this. This type of relationship has been observed in other jurisdictions, including the US. So it's not excluding US, even though you have the SEC issue. Now you continue on and they kind of give you different narratives here. It shows, okay, Cbdc, but also National Bank of Australia. We know NAB, we heard that earlier this year, and how things are moving in that front too. So as you go through this, they talk about how the payment space is evolving, and they give you one clear narrative of adoption. Not just an example, but the real adoption. So here, when you're looking at that Australian bank, which is National Australian Bank, back in 2016, you had this news coming out like, okay, NAB, Westpac, others are going to join Ripple's suit. And remember, this is 2016, and here in 2022, you get this. So they are here now. So the payment space or the financial space is going to take a long time because of the traditional infrastructure which they have, brick and mortar system. So it's going to take a long time. But right now, that long time, most of it is done. You need to understand that. Now, this is not only for this one particular Australian. Here, this is Saudi. Saudi Arabia Central Bank agrees Ripple blockchain. When? Back in 2018. Right now, what's happening in that country? Saudi Central Bank debuts new open banking framework. And what's their vision? It's towards 2030, they are going to become the global fintech hub. Not financial hub, fintech hub. So you need to actually look at why they've been racing to give proper legislations, regulatory guidelines and all for this banking and fintech space. That's something you need to understand. And look at how Ripple has been working with Sama from that time. It's really interesting. Then you come here. This is the banker. So the international banker earlier this year talks through all this different space for banking, transformation, and then mainly how money is moved. And when they talk about that, they give you this idea of Qatar National Bank, remittance, collaboration with Ripple and how they are operating in the space and all. And then they continue on saying Malaysian institution with Bangladesh is using the same Ripple net. So the level of adoption and the interconnectivity between that is super high, right? Now, that comparatively was a little bit quicker. This is like Qatar National Bank and Ripple partner to enhance global cross-border payments. So read that again. Qatar National Bank and Ripple partner to enhance global payments. Now that's in 2021, October. Now, this year, July, you get this one. Qatar National Bank launches direct remittance service to the Philippines through RippleNet, not a partner. Great. So they do understand the value of being inside that network directly. Now, when you go through that, it's not only that they are now making more transactions at a higher rate, lower cost, all the stuff. They also extending that to the China bank customers, free of charge. That means get a taste of this. This is how things work right now. One by one, you are going to observe institutions jumping on this one. And that is going to be a huge reason for that. Now, next one. This is technology consortium to run Sterling Cbdc. Fine. You're looking at IBM, Finastra, and all other things. And then you come look at Finastra, what they are talking about. Ripple. Fine. Then, as you go through them, you can actually get the understanding. They're talking about them being the messaging system, not Ripple being the messaging system. You need to understand that. Finastra, Fusion Total Messaging System. This actually gives you even better clarity on how they are going to use the liquidity provider. Because they are going to look at all this use case and this is going to be solved. Look at how they actually give the narrative out there. Now, jumping on this one. Now, we actually went through this article before, so I'm not actually detailing that. But this is Bank of Thailand, another central bank, which actually gives you the narrative of what? Who is going to bridge the gap between traditional finance and the new tech? Ripple's mission, blah, 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 and on-demand liquidity. So it's not just RippleNet, it's XRP Ledger and XRP. Then you come on here. Look at this article, which is from 2019 from Russia. Great. So as you read through this, they're talking about payments, space, how things are evolving, everything. And they here focus so much on XRP and Ripple. They understand everything, what's the fee, how things are working, and they give this so easily. Now understand this. This is not an investor here, it's a researcher. Read this 1, 2, 3, 4, how many times you want, understand it properly. It's designed as an appreciating asset. So when someone comes out there giving you it's a stable coin, understand, by design, the supply reduces with each transaction. Yes, it's a teeny tiny bit, but that's a reduction in supply. When the adoption is increasing, demand is increasing, supply going down. means the price cannot be stable at one point. Don't be confused. It has been named as stable coins under transactions in documents along with XRP and XLM, XRP, XLM, both of them. But they just below that give you the definition of what they mean by stable coin. It is stable during the time of transaction. Of course it is. It is just 3 seconds, right? So in that time frame, it is a stable coin, but not a price like 10,000, 100,000, whatever. It's not going to happen. Then you come on to the next one, which is 2020. From the same region, you need to understand that. And then we come back down here and we read this. This is again really interesting to read through. How things are evolving. They are looking for like different areas, different institutions, Nostro, Vostro, liquidity, all of that. And then it's not only Ripple, right? They also talk about Ether. They go through all of this. Now you have to understand they checked everything. And in the first half of 2018, Bank of Russia actually did the cross-border settlements experiment or pilot with Ripple platform. There is a reason for all of these institutions, big banks, central banks, using this one. Now, it's not only like they used it, they gave some idea. Okay, if you can resolve these issues, we are going to get on board, right? Read that again. That's something huge. Provided that the following organizational, legal, and technical issues are resolved. For a central bank, their privacy is important. Where they pay, who they pay, how much they pay, right? They don't want to say, imagine China's data going to US or any others. They don't want that, great? That's why Ripple actually worked on side ledger, right? Federated side chains. So that side chains can be used as a central bank digital currency. They can actually build on it. It's not a new coin. The central bank digital currency will be a new coin, which is run on the XRP ledger for settlements. Now, why is that important? Right now you get the narrative. Bank of Russia agrees to legalize crypto for cross-border payments. So you already know what they tried and what they want. And right now, Ripple is ready with that. They're clear what central banks need and they are ready with that. Then evolves this one. Russia's president comes out and saying, okay, we most likely are going to go to a blockchain-based international payment system. Now, this will be a speculation saying that can be Ripple. But if you look at the reality of what happened before and what their findings are, it's crystal clear because it's not just one country. You have been through all these nations and all of them are using that for a reason. Then, not old one. Ripple is trying to get a license in Ireland inside Europe. What do you think they'll do? If you really look at this one, I'm like, there is no doubt for me because this is European Central Bank report and it gives you selected private sector initiatives. And you get the name here, IntelliJ Protocol and Ripple using RippleNet. Understand this, Swift being 40 years old, hegemonic guy in this space, Ripple took the first place. You need to understand that. That's a huge blow for that traditional, decades-old system, which does not work properly. Now, why do I say that? Because here, when you come into the payments Canada space, they give you all the reasons why these big banks are moving one by one into different ecosystem. Because the traditional stuff does not solve their issues. Precisely when you come here, you get that named. They're using this to leverage this to do this. It's actually crystal clear, right? Now, what are they talking about? They're talking about IntelliJ Protocol for the interoperability. Now, why is that important? Look at this one. Most recent one from Digital Pound Foundation. So all of these guys who are working on a central bank digital currency pilot or the execution, research, whatever it is, you see the name Ripple there. Now, RippleNet is a messaging platform. Great. All the financial institutions can join there, but what's the difference? It's a bit better than Swift or a way lot better than Swift with on-demand liquidity too, because this is more like a chatty protocol. Not like Swift, you will have to send the message and wait and see whether the price is reaching there or not, right? If that happens to be slowed down some way and that's a weekend, you are done. You are still waiting the next week. Whereas here, you don't have that issue. And you saw that in the Ripple Swell event, real users coming on stage saying how things work for them. That's adoption. And if you don't understand that adoption, fundamental analysis is going to be really hard for that guy. But as you're still here listening to this, understand one thing. Price explosion here in an asset like this is inevitable. Just the question is, how many of us will be still here? How many of us will be doubling down on an asset? Now, it completely depends on your risk profile and how many assets you have in your portfolio and what ratio it is already. Say if XRP is 99% of your portfolio, then it's going to be really hard to think about adding more XRP, even if you have great cash flow. If it's 50%, maybe you can think about that. Anyone from traditional finance will be like 50% in one asset. They'll do this for 100% sure. But I've seen a lot of people with millions of dollars having more than 50% in XRP. They believe in this technology, and most of them, I've even talked to a guy with, now, just think about, like, I can't put the name out there, but IMF and payment space are all working great. Then even FTX went into the IMF space. But anyway, jumping back, technicals, short term is not good. The market is right now trying to price in the BlockFi bankruptcy, which it already priced in. So once the confusion is over, the price should actually slowly go back up. And early next month, we are going to have the CPI coming in. We are going to have the US Fed hiking the rate. All those mess coming up. So short-term volatility should not hinder your success in this asset. Meaning if you go leveraged, it's going to be really hard. If the price come back down, kick you out and then go back up, you missed. Best thing to do is don't do anything. If you already have packed your bags, you know your targets, have more patience. If this does not reinforce your purchase decision of this asset 3, 4, 5 years back, then I don't know what else will do, because this is fundamentals all the way from 2014, 2015 towards this time. You are still observing how things are evolving, right? They are not backing down. They are doubling down on this. This is huge. And they are talking about something like this. And it's, you need to understand, by 2024, it's not like by 2030. They're talking about just the digital wallets for transaction. Then you are going to look at massive transactional area of cross-border payments, which is like 200 trillion. These are big sum of money. And that's a big problem which this institution is trying to solve using Interledger protocol, connecting all these institutions around the globe. That's a globe here. It's not like I'm making it up. They are looking at this. Price it in your mind. That's going to come in your portfolio as well. So guys, if you received value, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have 3 to 5 more minutes, please do watch these videos. This is about life, success, motivation, how to stay up to date in your life to succeed and build wealth. This is my second channel. So if you subscribe to that, watch the video, hit the like button, I'll be really happy. So that's it for today, guys. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye-bye.